an opinion and a PSA. Welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I'm the Drunk Linux User. And let's start off with the opinion. I've been asked, a couple people, what do you think about crypto? And I think that on paper, crypto sounds like a great idea. I really do. But on a practical matter, I'm not all that thrilled about the concept of throwing money into something that is not tangible. So, NFTs are not in my lineup either. There are considerations to be had, and we know that the world is changing, and we know that things such as internet availability may be restricted, and we also know that crypto is being looked at strongly by certain governments. China, Russia, Canada, United States. And if you are not in the right position at the right time, the ability to have your funds in one hand at one moment and losing it the next, pretty high. I know that there are alternative ways of being able to keep your crypto, but you don't know what kind of laws are going to come down the pike, and I think I'd rather hold on to something more tangible as far as where I'm putting my money. Now, I'm not going to exactly say where I'm putting my money because that's my business, and where you put your money is your business. But I'm just saying that there is something that I have seen that is pretty cool as far as memes go. And this pretty much is also part of the theme of my PSA that's coming up here in just a second, but I like this. Wikipedia says, I know everything. And Google says, I have everything. Facebook says, I know everybody. Internet says, without me, you're all nothing. Electricity says, keep talking, bitches. And these are considerations that you should be taking when it comes to everything you do online. Okay? I don't have my money in a bank that I cannot physically walk up to. The other thing that I wanted to bring up, and this is part of the PSA, Windows 11 Pro apparently is going to require that you start using your Microsoft account to log in with or to install the operating system. Now, this is only on the insider track, and the insider track is like, these are the people who are the beta testers for the new pieces of software or upgrades or updates that Microsoft is considering to roll out to the general public later on. That doesn't mean that this is finalized right now. There's a lot of people squawking about it, so I don't know if Microsoft's going to keep it up or not, but 11 Pro users did not have to install using their Microsoft accounts. And by Microsoft account, I'm talking about like if you wanted to reach me at xyz@outlook.com, or some people still have hotmail.com addresses. Those are Microsoft accounts. And now Microsoft is saying for the Pro users that you're going to need to have a Microsoft account in order to be able to install Windows 11 Pro. Home users were supposed to have had their Microsoft accounts to be able to sign in with when they went to install. And I do recall that when I installed mine, I did have to put my Microsoft account in. Weirdly enough, though, it did not, when it installed 11, it installed Home. It didn't install Pro because I had Windows 10 Pro. I thought I was going to get Windows 11 Pro at the same time. I didn't, so I don't know if that's a bug, a feature, or whatever. But anyway, there's a lot of backlash coming out of this from certain people, and some other people are saying, hey, what's the difference? A couple things that people are saying, and this goes back to that meme again, about not everyone has the luxury of having access to a good internet connection. Well, that's very, very true. And what if your computer has a unique Ethernet setup or some kind of network card or Wi-Fi card that your upgrade or your install doesn't cover? And if you don't have good internet or no internet at all, you're not going to be able to download those drivers and to be able to install your software, which means that even if you plan on working offline, you're not going to be working at all, at least not on a new install. So I have a couple of articles here that are going to talk about it. This person doesn't seem to think that it's going to be such a big deal. And this person over here says that, it's possible that it may happen, may not. Again, this is all in the testing stages, but this is something that may actually affect you, and so I'm bringing it to your attention. Now, I know this is a Linux program, so I'm going to give you a choice. If you don't want to have to screw with the updates and the upgrades for 11 Pro, I'm not going to tell you which distribution I think you should check out. There are lots of websites out there that will try to convince you of one thing or another. If you're coming from Windows, you should probably try something such as Linux Mint, and if you're coming from Windows, you might want to try Elementary. If you're coming from Venus, you might want to go with Pop OS, and if you're coming from Mars, maybe Ubuntu. I have no idea what you might be interested in, but I'm going to give you the link to a website that will give you those choices, and all you have to do is look over on the right-hand side. You can see which are the most popular, supposedly, of the Linux distributions over here. All you have to do is just click on the name. It will take you to... talking about internet connectivity. Oh my God, there we go. And you can read up on it here. And if it's not interesting to you, just swing on back and then come over to the next one. You've heard so much about this one. Okay, go to their website. And then you can peruse and see what you want and download from here if you want. Choices, options, ways of being able to continue using an operating system even if the internet is down. Yes, you already may have Windows installed, but this is just a what if. What if in the decision-making process, Microsoft decides, this is working pretty good. Why don't we just make it so that you have to sign in with your Microsoft account and you have to have internet connectivity every single time you want to get on your computer. And for those people who don't have internet, or maybe even spotty electricity, which is going to screw up your computer no matter what you're using. So for people who don't have good internet or no internet whatsoever, that is going to make things very, very difficult. Would they do something like that? I don't know. I don't know. If you take a look at Google Chrome, you need to sign in with your Google account to be able to access everything. You can go in as a guest, but you're limited. There's not a whole lot you can do with that. Not as much as what you can if you sign in with your account. And Microsoft might actually follow that path one day. I'm going to say never, right? All right. So we're going to say enough of the doom and gloom, and I really didn't mean to make it so heavy on this particular episode, but I did want to bring to your attention that it's possible that things may be changing, and you never know. The way things are being looked at in this world anymore, where you have your finances could be, somebody else's in somebody else's pocket the next day. I'm speaking governmentally. Somebody may have used a GoFundMe or GiveSendGo and tried to help you out because you were having a little problem with perhaps an adverse reaction to some medication that you took, and all of a sudden the government says, well, we don't authorize those kind of transactions anymore. Does your money get sent back to the people that gave you the money in the first place, or does it just go into the air? Who knows? Who knows what's going to be happening in the future? Things are changing very, very wildly, and me personally, if If I'm going to be doing anything online, I'm going to be using Linux. I'm not going to be using Windows. In fact, I've turned off my network card on my Windows machine, my Windows partition anyway, I should say. And so the only thing I can do over there are the things that I need to using that particular software that I'm usually being contracted to work on, which is mostly Office products to begin with. But so let's remember our words of wisdom, shall we? Don't drive drunk. Don't drink and drive. Don't go to Amazon, eBay, or use Microsoft Edge all buzzed up thinking you're going to go out and buy the greatest, latest, coolest stuff, because you're probably not. In the meantime, bottoms up. Later, dudes.